Good morning.
Good morning.
And you are?
Sgt Hesson.
And you do what here?
I am the targeting NCO for Det 1 of the 143.
And this is?
Belongs to HHB.
And we are at?
The Ventura Armory in Ventura, California.
Now, the first question I have is, and I know a lot of people ask, what is an armory? I thought it was where they keep armor and weapons and things like that.
An armory is where they keep armor and weapons and things like that. That's absolutely true. There are various armories throughout the state of California. The reason being the National Guard is a state response force, and it's easier for the National Guard to respond to a crisis within the state if they're dispersed throughout the state as opposed to being in one location, centralized.
Security.
Yeah, and you know, should the infrastructure fail, we are the 911 for the governor in the state of California. It makes sense that we have our equipment dispersed throughout the state, you know, to overcome any logistical obstacles in the event of a crisis.
Absolutely. Now, Sgt Hesson?
Yes.
Hesson, thank you. How long have you been in service?
I've been in service now 8 years. I'm in my 8th year with the National Guard. 6 of those years have been active duty throughout various duty stations all over California. I worked counter-drug interdiction for about 6 months. I also worked on the border doing immigration interdiction for about 18 months. And the rest of my time has been split between the Accessions Task Force and recruiting.
All right. What do you love most about what you do?
You know, I love working with young guys. A lot of the people that I work with, and make no mistake about it, the people that serve in the military are kids. They are between the ages of 18 and 25. And I love watching the lights come on in their eyes, and I love watching them be of service. I want to point out that these are the kids that are not sitting at home playing video games, eating bonbons. These are the kids that got up off the couch and came to us and asked them to change their lives for them, and in return they're giving us service.
Yes.
And they're learning to care about their community, and that's important to me. Community
and others in the country.
Yes. Yep.
Absolutely. Now, how did this armory get associated with the Ventura County stand down?
I'm not real sure how it all began. I know that 22 years ago, a lady by the name of Claire Hope started this stand down at this armory. I'm not even really sure how the stand down started, to tell you the truth. But I know that for 22 years, Claire Hope has been providing these services, or at least facilitating these services through this armory.
And what else? This is that part that I chop out later.
What I like about what I've seen here, what I've been able to do during the course of the setup and the actual function itself is talk to some amazing people like yourself, for example, and also some old veterans. You know, those of us that are serving in the military have great respect for those of us that have come before us. You know, and I've been able to meet some remarkable people that have done some remarkable things. And I mean, on the outside, these people may not look like much to anybody else, but some of the things that they've done throughout the course of their life, either personally or for this country, are just amazing. These people that are walking around here, guests and volunteers alike, have incredible stories to tell. For example, one man here was a Tuskegee Airman. You know, and he's probably the most humble man I've ever met in my life. But you know, to those of us that are serving in the military, and now believe me, you'd be hard pressed to find anybody serving that does not know what a Tuskegee Airman is. Very impressive individual. I mean, very impressive individual. He took a rank reduction. He actually left the Army Air Corps because they wouldn't promote black men back in those days, and he resigned his commission to take an enlisted spot and retired from the Air Force. And to me, that's just an incredible story. And he's a very humble man. I mean, very pleasant to talk to, and just, you know, the things that he did are things that we will never have to do again. You know, I met a lot of Vietnam vets.
And why is that?
You know, I'm not real sure. I can tell you that technology and that you know, the growth and the policy, foreign policy in the military has changed so much that we are not going to have to fight the way they fought.
That's
you know,
right.
I'll tell you, when I do the stuff with my unit that I do, I feel very secure. You know, I don't know that these men had the same security that I do. And the other thing is, the military now has grown and has become a sort of a proactive force when dealing with veterans, that we are a lot better taken care of than them. And I'm very, very grateful for that. You know, if they were not the squeaky wheel, my family and I would not have the benefits that we do. So I'm very grateful for the service that they've given us before and after they signed the paper.
I know that technology, you're very right about that. That is overpowering everything else right now in the world at large. This is why I understand they no longer build battleships, because drones can get down the tubes too easily.
Yeah, I can't really comment on a lot of our technologies because I just don't know that much about them.
And it's probably by design.
Yeah, probably is by design. I can tell you though that in the military now we have some pretty amazing toys to play with.
Yes.
And you know, this country is very well defended.
That's good to hear. Thank you. Any final thoughts?
You know, I would like to see this continue. The California Army National Guard, myself, and you know, the representatives from my unit are very proud to have the stand down here, and we'd like to see it in the future. In fact, we'd like to see it grow to include some of our active service members. You know, we've got a lot of reservists that are also suffering from some of the same things that a lot of these veterans are. You know, benefits are difficult to access. Sometimes can be difficult to access, and a lot of our guys, a lot of our young guys are unemployed, and they're, you know, they're facing the same issues that these guys are, and you know, the fact that somebody cares about them, you know, cares about the fact that they are the ones that decided to get up off the couch and put the video games down is important. I'd like to see it continue.
Right on. Very good. Thank you, Sergeant.
You're welcome. You're very welcome.